Hi everybody, I'm going to walk through the line of cubes project with you using loops. So let's go to the instructions and start. So the first part says make a line of cubes using only a single cube block. And to get started, use a loop to run your cube block more than once. So let's go to BlocksCAD. I have my project open and I'm going to get a cube. I'll render it. See if I like the size. I'm going to make it a little thinner. So I will make it with an X of 5. And I think I'll make it a little higher. Your choice. That looks good. And I'm also going to change the color. You don't have to do these things. You can keep them just regular cubes. Okay. And that looks good. So now we need a loop. So let's put a loop around it and go back to the directions. We can render this. And doesn't show anything else. Okay. To space the cubes out, translate the cube using the loop variable I multiplied by how far apart the cube should be. All right, let's go take a look at that. And then if we look at our blocks, we have a math block. So the multiplication might work well there. And how far apart the cube should be, that's saying use that translate. So let's go back to our project, grab a translate, and we'll put that in. And then we'll need a math block. And we'll take that too. Now our variable I has already been created when we pulled out a loop. That is the default that comes with a loop. So if I read my loop, it says count with I from 1 to 10 by 1. And that means count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on until we get to 10. So in this, we would have 10 cubes. We have 10 cubes, but they're all occupying the same space. So we don't see that they're 10. So we will need to translate them. And if we go into variables, look, our I is there because we pulled a loop out. So we can translate them along the X, Y, or Z. So I'm going to just start with the X, and I'm going to translate them I times 2 and see what happens. Now, my first cube will be at 2 times 1, which would be 2. My second cube will be at 2 times 2, which would be 4. And my third cube, which would be 2 times 2, which would be 6. So there's a good chance, because the X value is Y, that they will be touching each other. And that is exactly what we see. They're touching each other, so the cube looks wider. So I'm going to take that 2 and change it to a 3. So now I'm going to multiply 1 times 3, 2 times 3, and let's see if we can space them out a little bit more. Not enough. My X is Y, though. My X is 5, so what if I multiply them by 5? Still no difference, but if I do 6, which is 1 more than that 5, you'll see that there'll be a small gap because the X value is 5 and we are multiplying the I by 6, so it gives you a little gap of 1. So we could change this number to even a higher number, try 10, and now they're pretty far apart. So there is my line of cubes, and nice, simple code. I'm going to save this because we used a loop. So the code is very compact, very simple, and we have a bunch of cubes.